Full shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, just some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hear me. Woo! I mean, like, we can pull that clown shit away. There's some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah. It's in their bones to dodge and harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Convert of only few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
Yo, what is going on? Yo, good morning to everyone, man. Good morning. Yo, big up to yourself if you collected 3 points this weekend. Unfortunate for you if you did not collect those 3 points. Yo, sorry for starting a bit late. I would have started literally like 20 minutes ago, but obviously we saw the news and a few things kind of popped up. You know what I mean? So I said, you know what, we're gonna have to just delay the start just by a couple of minutes. I'm not trying to be here for too long, to be honest with you guys anyway. So hopefully everyone's blessed this morning. Hopefully not keep you guys for too long. Guys, if you're watching this live, big up everybody who's already in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, you know the vibes, man. Just, you know what I mean, smash that like button. Yes, I do have a cold, but yes, we're working ourselves through it, man. Big up Hollywood Rock in the building, big up Andre in the building, and big up Tyler. So obviously now, like I said, we know the news we saw this morning. Mohamed Salah, yes. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. Obviously, we're here for the match reaction. Southampton versus Liverpool. Liverpool looking to go 8 points clear after Manchester City's defeat to Tottenham, where they got slapped. Yeah, that was embarrassing. But listen, hey ho, we had to capitalize, and capitalize we did. Mo Salah again. Coming up trumps for Liverpool, and I think that's what makes, you know, this morning's news so big. If I'm being totally honest with you, of course, yeah, I mean, like with everything that's kind of going on and etc. But in regards to the game, listen, look, I think I see people tweeting after the game, I see people talking match reactions and stuff like that. You know, listen, when you're going for a title or trying to win a title, anyway, challenging and etc. Obviously, there's going to be games where it's just not going to be perfect. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be good to watch, etc. We know the vibes. You know what I mean? We've gone for a title before. You know what I mean? So we know there's going to be games within that just don't really sit right with people. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are not going to be happy with the level of performance. Now, when we're talking about this game in particular, yes, I agree. I didn't like the performance. I didn't think Liverpool were that good. I felt like at times we looked very, very open. Yeah, it just felt like it was just one of those kind of games, you know, where we just, I don't know, it's like we dominated, but on the flip side of things, we dominated, but then looked so open at the same time. That was the bit that was bugging me. Obviously, we from their goals, obviously, that they scored, but even just in general play, like it just seemed, yet again, this kind of passive Liverpool off the ball. It's like, yo, come on, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, the teams are going to cause you problems. Like, everyone says it. You know, teams, it's very rare you're going to go through a game and the team are just not going to get one opportunity at all, you know, in the entirety of the game. But the way that we play sometimes, listen, I know, like I've said, in terms of, you know, Liverpool and the way that we play under Arne Slot, it's this kind of control and this, that, and the third. And that's great. But, you know, at the same time, sometimes in these games, Jesus Christ, like sometimes, like there was moments in that game, and I was like, yo, do we have a midfield? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are we using a midfield today? Like, is there anybody there, kind of thing? Because it just seemed like they would go from back to front, or from their back to, you know, to the front and whatnot, and we had no midfield. They were just being bypassed every single time, and it can get a bit annoying, obviously, watching that, because obviously we thought you know, those days are gone, but ultimately they're kind of still here, you know. And not even to say that Liverpool didn't necessarily deserve it. It was just one of those, like, I would say we just about deserved it. Yes, you can look at the stats, and I don't even care, but when we're just looking at the game in itself, I felt like, yeah, Liverpool probably just edged it, like just. Obviously, there was a period of the game where we were quite dominant, you know, getting shots off at goal. Every time we looked to attack, it looked like we were going to potentially score and stuff like that. But then I could say the same for them. They just didn't have as many opportunities as us. But there was moments, you know, or there was a period in that game where it did look like, yo, every time these lot go forward, it's kind of looking a bit peak. It's kind of looking like, hey, they might score here, or hey, they may get in on our goal kind of thing. And obviously Kelleher's got to make those saves, and you know the defense. We'll get to the match ratings in a second, but yeah, man, it was a very mediocre performance. Whatever you want to put it down to, it doesn't really matter. You can use whatever context you want to use, but I just felt like the performance was just super mediocre. And as per usual, my guy, do you know what I mean? My guy Mo Salah just had to come up and save the day, you know, as he's been doing this season, you know, with 2 goals in this game. When we're looking obviously at the team sheet now, obviously I watched his press conference and he spoke about like the South Americans and stuff like that. So to be fair, this lineup is, I think, more or less bar Andrew Robertson and Nunes. I think I had the same. I think I had swapped Nunes for maybe Luis Diaz, I think. But other than that, that was kind of the same lineup I thought he would go with. Again, coming back after the internationals, and they've been making like a big deal about this whole South Americans going away and they're being so tired and and all of that. So I kind of had a feeling that he would drop them. Well, I say drop them. He would rotate them, in this kind of game, because I guess he didn't really look at this game and think to himself, yeah, I'm gonna need my A-star squad, or my 8-star 11, kind of thing. But ultimately, he played this team, and that I was fine with the team. Like, I didn't have any problem. I didn't look at it and think, oh, why did you play this guy? Obviously, we knew about Trent Alexander-Arnold already. Obviously, injury. Alisson not really back yet. Harvey Elliott was on the bench for this game. It was only really the Robbo and Tsimikas one, and hindsight will probably tell you you should have probably played, Tsimikas in this game. But listen, we got the 3 points. The game's done and dusted. So, I wasn't really too fussed when I saw that lineup obviously coming out. Big up everybody in the chat. Big up Deals in the building. Hope you well. Gravenberch been your best midfielder this season, and Salah done well for you. Yeah. Gravenberch has easily been, our best midfielder. Big up Hakeem in the building. Zane, I think it just comes down to a lack of intensity and urgency from players. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know why though. That's the bit that I think that's confusing most people or me in particular. Why? Like, why is there such a lack of urgency in our press and stuff like that? It must be by design. That's the only thing I can kind of think of it must just be, by design. Big up Pops in the building every single time. 3 passes to a goal again. I'm worried about playing Madrid like this. I'm not even worried about playing Madrid like this. It's not that. For me, it's just more about long term. That's how I kind of look at it, is long term. Can you continue doing this? Like, can this always, kind of work for us? Kind of thing, because we're seeing it in. But obviously, we've seen the test, and obviously, listen, look, he's got through this test as well. A tough game away at St. Mary's. They're fighting for their lives down there, bottom of the league, all that kind of stuff, right? But when I've seen him in different kind of games, so against a Brighton or an Arsenal or Manchester United or Villa, like, we've played quite a lot of these teams, and they've all been quite different. Brentford, Bournemouth, and it's still kind of the same thing. That seems to be, to me, a bit of a common denominator, is the way that we just lack this urgency, out of possession. I don't know why. I don't know if it is by design. If so, fair enough. Like, if that's how he wants to do it because it helps further on down the line, I don't really know the process. But the reality is, it is something that I'm noticing quite a lot, when we're playing these games. And yeah, it's just a little bit frustrating. I'll tell you that much. It is a little bit frustrating. Do you think you rested players for Real Madrid game you got coming up? Yeah, of course. And like I said, after the international break, from how he's seen the team perform, Nottingham Forest, we lost. Chelsea, lucky to probably get the victory, in the end. Performance weren't really all that. And obviously now we're coming up, after this one. So he's probably definitely looked at it and said, hey, let me not play all of the South Americans. Let me not play Diaz and McAllister and Nunes, kind of thing, because he knows that that might not work for the balance of the team, the intensity, even though we lacked it anyway, in terms of the energy that we would have needed in order for us to, be able to get through. But hey ho, listen, look, hindsight, it's always a wonderful thing. The Canate yellow was more annoying than the Robbo pen. Games after international break are so frustrating. Yeah, I told you, Canate got the bozo, G. I told you he ain't never beaten them claims. He ain't never beaten them claims at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, Canate has been doing stuff like that, always doing silly things like that. As soon as he done it, I was like, yeah, you see this gene that people think that is gone. It's not gone, bro. It's unfortunately it's dormant in you. You know what I mean? It's there. You know what I mean? It'll pop up. Obviously, we're just happy that this season it's just not popped up too much. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But with him, yeah, he's always one game away. But listen, we'll get to the ratings anyway. Naji, they didn't do enough, didn't have a shot on target after they went up 2-1. Yeah, it's true. It's true they didn't have a shot on target. But the reality is, again, it's all about, are you getting in on goal? Are you creating enough chances in order for you to worry Liverpool? And on another day, kind of, obviously it doesn't really matter, because the reality is on this day, they weren't able to, you know, get themselves, you know, in on goal. But yeah, it just felt like they had quite at a period, not the entirety of the game, but at a period of the game, I just felt like, yeah, they had their moments. They had their moments. Now, like I said, we dominated in terms of we had bare shots on target, bare big chances and all that kind of stuff. But the general performance of the team, I just didn't feel like it was that good. I'll be honest with you. It did feel a little bit like, yeah, you could say, yeah, a typical game after the international break. But on the flip side, I am a little bit like, yeah, but I would understand that if I haven't seen games like this before. And I have. The difference in those other games is that more often than not, we probably score another goal. Obviously, the chance that Nunes put across for Luis Diaz, we probably score that on another day. Then the scoreline looks different, but you're still watching the same game, you know, kind of thing. And I think, you know, it's just one of those. Costas had a knock. Okay, fair enough. I didn't know. So okay, fair enough. Then if that's the case, rest versus Madrid, or keep momentum with a strong team. I don't know. It's at home, innit? So we'll have that momentum anyway. Yeah, I don't know how he kind of plays it in regards to the Madrid game, to be honest with you. Gee, in hindsight, if you watch their 2 goals again and Dom and Grava both take out the players, we arguably don't concede. Yeah, but that happens a lot, though. That's what I'm saying, Pops, is that I feel like I could say that for quite a lot of games, but we don't concede. That's always going to be the difference. We might have the keeper, Kelleher might save, they might, you know, miss the target, but I can go through quite a lot of games and tell you a situation where this person, I think there was a game where, was it Gakpo? That might have even been last season, but I remember a game where Gakpo, you know, doesn't want to bring the player down. Like, I feel like there's been quite a lot of games, There's been a few games. Let me not be disingenuous. There's been a few games this season where I've looked at it and just thought, yeah, there's always this one moment, and then, like I said, we don't concede, so it doesn't look that mad when you look at it in retrospect, in terms of just looking at it and think, oh well, we didn't concede, so we're good to go. But we have these kind of moments, and for me, the biggest disappointment in this game was how open the midfield looked. Like, I just felt like, Jesus Christ, like, this man are just like, it honestly just looked non-existent at times. It was so baffling. I knew that'd be your speech today, G. The Bozo Gene and Mo being Mo. Yeah, come on, bro. You know the vibes already. We weren't that good, but I'm not doing too much for them either. Mo and Lucho score, and we murder them as we should have, and maybe the mood is different. Potentially. You know me, the mood will be the exact same, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't even look at those kind of situations. Kelly been decent for you lot as well. Yeah. Big up my bro, Football Talk podcast, guys. Make sure, as always, just like with Beijing Reds TV, make sure you do subscribe to the Football Talk podcast for me, please, man. Make sure you do that, man. There's over 15 of you in here, man. So make sure you guys subscribe. The player ratings from the website on screen is way too generous. We were so sloppy yesterday, lacked control in the middle of the park, and very predictable in our runs on the channels. 100% agree with this, my bro. I haven't even seen anyone's match ratings, to be honest with you. And you know, the ones on websites and stuff like that, those ones annoy me the most, because I feel like, you know, sometimes when you read them and then more time they will give like a description. So they'll say, I don't know, this guy got an 8, for example, and they'll give you their reasons why they gave an 8. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like, what? I would love to know what your barometer is. Like, what is your kind of, yeah, I mean, why like this constitutes an 8? Like, it's just weird. So more often than not, I never even check those out, man, anymore anyway. Did you see the Ipswich fan that got a Roy Keane? Yeah. I see that video still. That video was making me laugh. Mo Salah to the rescue once again, and FSG don't want to offer him a new contract. We're going to get onto that in a minute. We'll do that just before I do the player ratings. We'll do that just before I do the player ratings, because yeah, I wanted to talk about that. What do you think you're missing the most in your squad? I think for me personally, maybe like a left back, a DM, and an attacking midfielder. But the players that I would want, I do not see the club going out to necessarily sign. I mean, I would also love a striker as well, you know, like a good striker. But, you know, I don't feel like those are things that are obtainable. Dominic Szoboszlai obviously got his goal yesterday. Very good goal, left foot finish as well. Obviously from a mistake from Southampton. I said it in the group chat, bro. They're playing so childish. They were playing so like they reminded me of when, you know, when De Zerbi last season was just like, I felt like he was just being stubborn for stubborn's sake. Like, you know, when you're just like, man, I'm gonna do what I want to do. That's exactly how I felt with Southampton yesterday. I kept thinking, why against Liverpool? I've said this numerous of times, even when we've been shit, even when, you know, we're not playing well, the season that we finished 5th, it doesn't matter. Liverpool are the best counter-attacking team right in world football. And I will say that, and I will stand by that. I don't know another team when it comes to the counter press, counter attacking football that are better than Liverpool. Liverpool, you know, that's one thing I'll give Jurgen Klopp, is that he made Liverpool the best at that. You cannot play around with Liverpool. It is a long day. I get why you do it. I understood why they did it. I think they had like a midfielder playing in defense as well, because they played the back three. I fully get why they did it. It makes total sense because they understand that the way, obviously, Liverpool of old anyway, where we press with this level of intensity, if you're able to bypass that press, you're in on our goal straight away. So I do get it from an opposition standpoint if you can do it. There's only a few teams that I would say that can realistically do it, like a Brighton, Man City, Arsenal. There's only a few teams. If you can't get it right, it looks long, bro. And that's exactly what happened when we obviously scored that goal. Curtis Jones pressing really, really well. I thought he did okay in the game as well. Obviously press, and then obviously Dominic Szoboszlai in there to, you know, get his goal. And I think that goal, he needed it. Like, obviously, we all know everyone's been slating him and stuff like that over the last like couple of weeks and stuff like that. So yeah, he needed that. He needed that goal. He needed that. Finally, I got GA. You know what I mean? I got something. So hopefully he can just build, you know, upon that. Towards the end of the game, though, you started to see he did look a little bit, you know, a little bit leggy, a little bit tired, you know, in the game. But that's to be expected because the energy we were dispensing towards the end, it's like we were just making life difficult for ourselves, you know, towards the end of that game. And like Pops even said before, you know, you score some of those goals, it makes it a bit more relaxing, and then the performance maybe doesn't look so bad. But listen, unfortunately, it didn't really pan out like that. We're just like Burnley and company play the same way, even if it's 100%, bro. It's like this way you're playing. Yeah, I admire it. I like that football. I do. I actually like the way that Southampton played. I like the way I like all the way these teams play, because it shows a level of courage. It shows a level of conviction that you're still gonna do it, even if it's not necessarily working. And I can I'm not a manager, I'm not a coach, but I can understand from a coach's perspective in terms of you've got your principles. I like a Jerry or ENDZ, for example. They've got their principles and they're going to do it no matter what, you know, so to speak. But there does come a point in game anyway where I do look at it and think, obviously that's different because obviously they're coaching at that level in comparison to Premier League level. But I do look at it and sometimes think, broski, it's not working what you're trying to do. All right. The opposition, they fucked us effectively. They fucked us, and it's just not going to work. So the best thing I feel for you guys is probably maybe you do something a little bit different, because if anything, you're hurting the team more than anything else. You've got your principles and your pride and your ego. Fair enough. You've got your tactics, and you're going to want those tactics to obviously come to fruition, but it's hurting the team. I'm seeing the goalkeeper every 2 seconds, you're rolling it out. You're not giving this team a breather. And I looked at it and I was like, I feel sorry for Southampton at points, because I can see you. It's like I'm watching and I can see that they're literally carrying out the manager's instructions. The manager has said, I don't care in this moment, just roll the ball out, like in terms of the goalkeeper. And when you roll the ball out, you, the centre back, don't just hoof it up. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Don't just look for the long pass into the channels for someone to run onto. No, I want you guys to play. Yeah, play here. Then you got one of the centre backs. Yeah, I want you to be able to kind of dribble out of, out of danger. And once you dribble out of danger, then look for the pass. Guys, make sure you guys are the wing backs in terms of Kyle Walker-Peters, and I can't remember who the other one was. I want you guys to, you know, bomb forward, create some space, all of that. I get it. I fully get it. But you know, when it's hurting you, it's hurting the team now. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It was working in moments, I get, because you saw Adam Lallana, I think it was Tyler Diblin, who's obviously we're going to speak about, you know, in a second. You know, they were able to turn out of those situations. When you've got those type of dribblers on the pitch, And by the way, Tyler Diblin, I thought was absolutely brilliant in the game. He was actually my man of the match, to be honest with you. I thought it was really, really good. When you got these kind of players in your team, I get why you might try and do that, because they did the Gravenberch thing. You know, when Gravenberch lets the ball run across him and then he's able to just dart off. Lallana was doing it. Diblin was doing it. Them not were able to get themselves out of the situation. Liverpool midfield could not press that. They were like they're very good players. Like in terms of, obviously, I'm only looking at it in isolation in this one game, but to me, they were press resistant in the game. From what I was watching, I was like, yeah, you can't really press these guys because they're just turning out of that. Yeah, and Lallana, we know already, this brother is comfortable on the ball, comfortable in possession. So he's on, all right, cool. You want to press me? You do that. But if you do that, I promise you I'm rolling you. I'm promising you I'm going to roll you, or I'm going to create that space. Diblin, you can see, fearless. That's why I liked his performance, you know, in the game. You saw him coming up against Andrew Robertson. Yeah, yeah, Robert will get to his rating when we get to the ratings. But yeah, like you could just see this guy just had he had the cojones. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like he had the balls to say, yeah, no, I'm gonna try run my thing, but not also that. I'm gonna run infield. I'm gonna get into the mix as well, into the midfield. And it almost felt like at times when he was coming in, especially, you know, playing alongside Lallana before obviously he went off, it just felt like, ooh, it causing a little bit of problems in that middle of the park. You know what I mean? Because you're able to turn out, because you're able to play in the middle of the park, it's causing us an issue because we can't really defend it. And now we can't defend it. They're in on our goal now. They're closer to our goal now. They're giving themselves, you know, opportunities, I would say, you know, the least. But yeah, ENDZ is the coach. Yeah, ENDZ is the coach. Yeah, ENDZ is the coach. ENDZ is the coach still. Big up Michael in the building. Guys, again, please make sure you subscribe to Michael Talks Football. Pops, the defenders were telling the keeper to roll it out, which was mad, yet their goal on the counter came when he fumbled it out and they broke with pace and scored. This is why, you know what I'm saying, Pops? It's like, I can see why you want to do it. But there does come a point where, had Liverpool scored in certain moments, are you continuing that? Like, obviously I don't know Southampton fans, and I don't check their forums to know, you know, what goes on in their space. I would love to know how the fans feel about the way that they play, because it does sound a lot like Burnley with company. You're playing nice football. Okay, you've won the Nice Award. Can we stop now? That's the way that I would be looking at it. Like, I'll be like, yo, okay, can we stop playing this way now? Do you know what I mean? Because we need to get some points on the fucking board. It's becoming a little bit, and it's not like they've got you know, strikers to score goals like that, where you can say, excuse me, like where you got like a Cunha in, like, for Wolves, where you're like, okay, we at least got that one guy who could get us goals enough to maybe get us out of certain situations. They don't really have that. They don't really have that, which is obviously going to cause them a problem. Now, they had that 6-foot unit up top yesterday. I can't lie, he was giving the defenders hell. You could not get the ball off of this. I don't know if someone can find me his name. Can't remember his name. Let me see if I can actually find it on here. That striker, what's his name? Where is it? If someone can find it, yeah, the striker. How do you pronounce that? Onucho. Yeah, well, him anyway. That unit up front, I was just like, yo, this brother is moving mad. He was moving mad. Bro, Hakeem, the no-look pass, you know. I said, what is going on? And you know what was so mad? It wasn't even the no-look pass. Like, that was the cherry on top. Man did the step over. Connor Bradley went one way and he went the other. I said, what is going on? What is going on? I know. I heard them talking about his goal record and stuff like that. I think he was out on loan, actually, to be fair. He was out on loan last season in Turkey. And they said anyway that he scored quite a few goals over there in Turkey. But I was just like, nah, this guy, bro, he was strong. Like, yo, him versus like a Van Dijk Konate. Yeah, he's one of those strikers. I'm like, yeah, nah. If you're able to play with two strikers, you want him. You want him to be the one, because I promise you, he's calm against a Van Dijk and Konate. Super calm, like super duper calm. Because in terms of the strength wise, he's probably as strong as those guys. Do you get what I'm trying to get? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, whereas obviously he doesn't have like the pace or whatever to, you know, to get in, and he doesn't have, well, I say too much skill, but yeah, that step over. And it was the sheer fact that He was so strong, like that bit where he done all the step over and all of that. Remember, like he had like 4 players around, like Gravenberch was there. I think Jones was in the mix of that. And I was like, bro, take the ball off this guy. Could not take the ball off him. Could not take the ball off him. You know what I mean? And I was just like, ish. And then he just, you know, popped his way out of the whole, yeah, I mean, the whole situation and that. And I was just like, oh man, it's a bit peak. It's a bit peak, but you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. 6'7". That man was on bro, he was on crud, pops. He was, hey, I was just laughing. When he did the step over, I said, yeah. This could be a long day. When you got that kind of brother doing step overs, yeah, it could be a long day, man. I'm not going to talk about too much of the decisions and stuff. You guys can, you know, deliberate the rest of them. Obviously, this was the main one, in my opinion, anyway. This is the one where, when it happened in real time, I was like, I don't know if that's a penalty. So obviously, you can see like they've got like different angles of it, and I was like, obviously I don't know what the ruling is. I didn't check. So if anyone does know, fair enough. You can let us all know on this. But when I saw this, like even looking at it now, like I'm like, if they're saying it's on the line, because technically speaking, let's see if we can. I mean, his right leg here in this picture is on the line, kind of, it looks like. But then here it doesn't really, I don't know if that's the same still image, but just from a different angle. But obviously here it doesn't show. Here you can see it's not on the line, technically speaking. He's not even there yet. Obviously in this image, it does look like, yeah, his foot is basically on that line. But again, I don't know what image they're looking at. I don't know, you know, how they see it and stuff like that. Like, honestly, I really don't know. It was a foul, 100%. Yes, I think everybody can agree with that. Robbo got done there, shouldn't have done it, whatever, cool, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, VVD fucking around, but prior to that, but the whole defense was fucking around the entire game, to be honest with you. But yeah, in terms of whether that was a penalty or not, that was the one where I was a little bit like, I don't know about that, you know. I feel like that wasn't a penalty. I don't feel like that was a penalty. And you're right, 100%. Why are you doing that? I get it. But listen, I feel like Robbo's head was gone anyway. I feel like, yeah, his head just looked gone. It just looked gone with, you know, when you're just frazzled now. You're just frazzled. You're just trying to run anything and anything, you know, kind of thing. But it is what it is. Foot on the line is deemed inside, I think, but Oliver was on VAR, so was never going to be overturned. Yeah, okay. If that's the case, if they're saying it was on the line when the tackle was made, then fairs. I can deal with that. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. I'm more than happy with that if that's their reason. And again, I didn't see what they said, so that's why I was like, I don't know. It didn't look like a penalty, but if they're saying that it happened on the line, then yeah, on the line is a penalty. That's fair. That's more than fair. Big up the gaffer inside. Don't worry, bro. I saw your message as well, but I was just trying to get the stream started. But I hope you are blessed. They asked him to do way too much and should have gone longer to utilize his pace and power. He worried VVD and Ibu in moment. Oh, 100%. 100%. They didn't walk away from that game and think, yeah, that was easy. No way. No way. Yeah, this was the other one as well. The Lallana one could have easily been sent off for yep. Yeah. There's not really much you could say, to be honest. I felt like you could have turned that probably should have been more of a red card than anything else, if I'm being 100% honest with you. But again, they didn't give it, and I was a little bit shocked. I was like, at first I thought, oh no, calm. It's only when I saw the replay, that's when I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this does kind of look like a red card's offense. So why is the red card not coming out? Maybe his reputation did save him. I don't know, man. We'll leave that for these guys. All right. The big news of the morning, Mohamed Salah. You know what? I got a video for you guys, actually. Let's play the video. Let's see if it will start. All right. So obviously, this is the video that's been going around this morning in regards to Mohamed Salah. Obviously, he got himself 2 goals yesterday. Yeah, we'll get into his rating and all of that anyway. And we'll talk about the players and etc. Obviously, you guys let me know in the chat, how do you feel about this whole Mo Salah situation in terms of, should he be, just give him whatever he wants kind of thing? Do you think, all of that? Once we watch the video, I'll give you my kind of take on this whole situation, because obviously this just come out this morning anyway. So yeah, we're kind of reacting in real time.
About your future, What's the latest you can tell us on that?
Well, we're almost in December. We're almost in December. I haven't received any offer to stay yet in the club, so probably I'm more out than in. So.
Would you like to stay though?
Well, you know, I've been in the club for many years. No club like this, but in the end, it's not in my hand. So, as I said before, it's December, so I haven't received anything yet about my future. So
it feels like the fans would love you to stay, though, given the reaction today.
I love the fans. The fans love me, but in the end, it's not in my hand; it's the fans' hand. So, yeah,
No,
let's wait and see.
How do you feel about the fact there hasn't been an offer? Then does that disappoint you?
Of course, yeah.
And so what? Have you spoken to the club about why there hasn't been an offer?
Well, I'm not gonna go and say I'm not gonna retire soon. So I'm just playing I'm focused in the season, and yeah, I'm trying to win the Premier League or hopefully the Champions League as well. But yeah, it's a disappointed, but we'll see.
Yeah. So obviously that's the full. I wanted everyone to see the full video, not a tweet here of this comment or this quote. See the full video, see the context. That is the video. That is the context. That is the video. That is the context. Just after the game, if you need any more context, but that is literally what he said. So he hasn't been offered a new deal at this moment in time. He said he's disappointed at the fact that he hasn't been offered a new deal. But ultimately, listen, look, he's trying to win the Premier League. He's trying to win the Champions League if he can. So for him, it's just, you know, he ain't retiring anytime soon. So, you know, he's just playing his football. It's so mad because I kind of need these contract talks to keep rumbling on. I can't lie. I kind of, because I feel like he's just playing with this, like, hey man, like, you know what? He's fully doing this. I'll show you guys. Mo Salah is literally this. Mo Salah is literally this, guys. Like, he is actually this. He's just a chill guy. He's just a chill guy. You know, Liverpool don't want to offer me a contract, but hey, it doesn't matter because I'm just a chill guy. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's fully just doing his own thing. He is not bothered. He isn't stressing. He isn't, you know, whatever. Obviously, listen, of course, he wants to stay from what it sounds like, right? And this is why I asked everybody, you know, and I'm seeing what everybody's saying in terms of, like, do you think it's a situation where the club should just be giving him whatever he wants, even if it could be potentially unreasonable? Because remember, he's saying, yeah, like he's disappointed. But when they asked him the question, I think if I can find it, where they asked him the question, like, do you want to stay? He didn't say yes or no. He was just like, yeah, well, you know, I've been here for a while. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was no yes, there was no no. You could have said yes, you could have said no. Now, I'm not trying to stir the pot or whatever. You know what I mean? Mo Salah's my guy, so I wouldn't want to do that to him. But when I heard that, I was just like, I feel like people are focusing on the wrong stuff. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't feel like we're focusing on everything that's always being said. Again, I'm just picking out one point. I'm not saying you can't pick out the other points that everybody else is obviously talking about. And obviously Hakeem saying here, at least give him an offer so he will refuse it. Maybe, but remember, okay, not remember. We don't know, obviously, how these contracts really work, right? None of us really know. So I'm going to give you my opinion on that. I feel either way, in these kind of contracts, whether it's big player, you know, massive legend, whatever, or just a player, right? You're like, they know roughly, might not know exact numbers, but they know roughly what Mo Salah wants or what his agent is asking for or whatever. Whoever's asking from the Mo Salah camp, they know roughly this is how much he wants. So let's just say, as an example, just hypothetically, let's just say he wants 450 bags a week, sorry, and he wants a 3-year deal with an option for another year, just as an example, right? I don't know what it is, but let's just say that's just what he wants. If the club know that already, they don't then need to then necessarily offer him a contract right now if it's not something that they realistically want to give him, i.e. if they don't want to give him 450 bags on a 3-year deal with an extension, with a possible year extension, they might look at it and be like, all right, let's see if we can potentially just keep working on what we can and can't do before we come to him with that offer, like that first offer, so then he can then decide whether he's going to refuse it or not, or this, that, and the other. Obviously, him and the club, they have a good enough relationship, right? So he's not down in tools. He's not sitting there saying, oh, yeah, but like, they're not giving me a deal, so I'm not going to play. Like, he's still doing his thing, right? He's still doing his thing. I think he knows that they will offer him something, but I think they just want to come to the table one time. I feel like it's one of those, not come to the table, they probably come to the table a few times, but I feel like they don't want to give him that concrete offer just yet. Like, i.e., okay, this is our final offer. I don't think this is going to be a back and forth. Okay, we're going to give him, instead of say 450, we're going to give him, let's say 400, and we'll give you 2 + 1 as an example. I don't think they're going to do all of that. I feel like whatever they come to the table with, that is their offer. It will then be down to him to accept it or not accept it. But I don't think they're going to be doing this. Yeah, we're going to come. All right, so in December we're gonna sit down. Okay, then in February we're gonna sit down again. In March we're gonna sit down. Bro, I feel like these men will just sit down and just keep it moving. Do you know what I mean? Like, take it or leave it. It's that. I feel like it's going to be that type of deal, and I also feel like it's that type of deal for a Trent, and it's that type of deal for a Virgil van Dijk. Not with these kind of guys. I don't feel like you need to sit there and haggle in this. Like, obviously they're going to haggle, but I don't think it's going to be a, yeah, let's sit down in December, let's sit down in February, let's sit down in March, let's sit down. Brother, we're sitting down once. Do you want to take the deal or not? Because I don't think they're going to go over whatever it is they're trying to offer. So let's just say 400 is the most, but he wants 450. I don't think they're going to go over that just because he said, oh, I'm going to reject that first offer. All right, cool. If you rejected it, then you could bounce. I feel like that's just the way the situation is at the moment with Mo Salah. So that's why when people are talking about saying, oh, like FSG or Richard Hughes or whatever, I'm just like, yeah, but you got to remember as well, it's Mo Salah too. Like, Mo Salah knows what the club can kind of give him. So if he, by the way, he's under no obligations to accept it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if he knows the club are only realistically going to pay 400, but he wants 450 and he's not budging on that, there's going to be a little bit of a standoff. Then whose fault is it from there? If the club have said, this is the most I want to give you, and he's saying, no, I'm not budging on this, where do you go? So I can't blame club. I can't blame Salah. Both are well within their rights to offer and accept and compromise and do whatever it is that they want to do. That's why I'm not mad at any party. I'm just like, all right, cool. To be honest, for me, I couldn't even care less because right now he's playing football and he's scoring goals, he's getting assists, he's doing his thing. So clearly, this is not disturbing him. Like, clearly, this is not having any impact. And for some weird reason, he's becoming, like, I don't want to say more pivotal. Well, he is more pivotal anyway, but he just seems to be playing with this kind of air of like, yeah, like I said, chill guy. I don't really care. Yeah, I mean, offer me the deal, don't offer me the deal. It is what it is, you know, kind of thing. And I'm not mad at that. I'm really, really not mad at it, man. So that's why I'm not too fussed with this whole Mo Salah thing. I'm like, bro, if it keeps rumbling on, if he leaves, then he leaves. Yeah, I mean, like, just leave with a Premier League title. That's the only way you'll have my blessing. If he I don't care if he goes, but you have to leave with something. You can't leave with nothing, man. You have to leave with something. You know what I mean? You can't be doing this leaving stuff and we didn't win the league. What do you mean we didn't win the league? Bro, you better stay. You know what I mean? Sign you on that death row contract. Do you know what I mean? Saturn Treble 8 says the club is bigger than any player. Yeah, I hear it. Yeah, but not giving him an offer means you are giving him permission to negotiate elsewhere. If you don't want to keep him, just be upfront. But they don't. But I don't feel like they don't need to say that though. That's my thing though, Hakeem, is that what if they, okay, like I said, what if they do want to actually keep him though? What if they want to actually keep him? Are we saying just give him whatever he's asking for? You know they're not going to do that. And I'll be honest, I'm not mad at them for saying that. Like, you're well within your rights to say, hey, no, this is what we are budgeted for. This is what we can offer you. And they're probably going above and beyond anyway of what they would usually offer someone in Mo Salah's kind of position. You know, so I feel like that's where I'm like, Mo also plays a part in this. Mo Salah also is playing a part in this whole transfer thing, this whole contract thing. That's why when people are like, yeah, just give him what he wants. What do you mean just give him what he wants? That, like, come on, guys. Let's, like, I'm not saying you specifically, Akeem, but in general, I'm like, come on, man. We know that's not going to work like that. We know that they won't really do that. We're not Madrid. You can't give my man 500, this guy 400, this guy 600, that guy, bro, it doesn't work like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and these are 3 of the biggest contracts that we're probably going to have for a long, long time. You know what I mean? In Virgil, Trent, and Mohamed Salah. So if you start giving Mo this amount, Trent might turn around and say, well, no, I want something a bit more comparable to that. Then Van Dijk, now it's a knock-on effect. Now you got too many men on these high wages. Now that's going to have an impact. And then we're all going to sit here and moan in the summer when we can't offer the wages for a certain player and this, that, bro. It's just a whole cycle, bro. It's a whole cycle. So no, I don't believe they should be giving Mo whatever he wants. There has to be a compromise from both parties. I don't know what that compromise is. I don't know what that number is, to be honest with you, but there has to be a compromise. If there isn't, both parties can say goodbye. And you know what I mean? Like I said, as long as Mo leaves with Sutton, I don't really care. I'll be honest with you. I don't. You have to leave with Sutton. That's the only way I'll be like, all right, cool, say no more. You done your thing at Liverpool. You ended up winning the Premier League. I don't really care about the Champions League, I'll be honest. You ended up winning the Premier League before you left. Cool. No worries, man. Do you know what I mean? You cemented your legacy in the Premier League as a Liverpool legend, yada, 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 all of that kind of good stuff, you know, kind of thing. So, yeah, man. It is still quite late to be negotiating. I don't think so. I think with Mo, not really, because I do think that Mo will give the club enough time to sort things out. And remember, it's because he has to give it enough time, because then he has to, if he leaves, remember, he's got to leave the country, because I'm assuming he's not going to play for any other Premier League team, right? He has to leave the country. So that in itself is going to be quite big. You know, his family is settled here from what I've heard and stuff like that. So yeah, I just think that, you know, it's going to be one of those kind of situations where it's not going to be done lightly, but it needs to take time. So right now, guys, let's just chill for a sec. You know what I'm saying? Let's just relax. Let's just wait, see what happens, and then we can take it from there. But until, you know, things start popping off, then yeah, I'm not really, you know, too fussed with it. With Mo, think about the last contract he signed, same process with regards to yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Big up Storm in the teacup. Last time we did Mo last, so maybe we are on that again, because he's the most likely to get the highest wage offer since he's currently on the most. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying, Pops. This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm saying, people, man, let's just, you know what I mean? Let's just chill and let's wait. Let's just wait, and then we'll see how it all works out. We'll see how it works out. As far as I'm concerned, Mo, just keep doing what you're doing, though. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not mad. I'm easy. I'm like, yeah, man, Mo scoring goals and doing this and doing that. Like, yeah, man. Like, no one's, right now, I'm not stressed about nothing. Like I said, I don't really care. Like, not that I don't really care, but it's not going to bother me too much if he was to leave. But you have to leave with something, though. That's where I draw the line. You just have to leave with something. Because then after that, I'm like, well, that's after that, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? I got my Premier League title. You know what I mean? I got 2 as well. You know what I mean? And quick kind of, you know what I mean, in relatively close proximity. So, yeah, man. Heel Salah is the best version. Bye. All right, let's go to ratings. Let's go to the rating. So, let's start off with Kelleher. Yeah, let's start off with Kelleher. Made some good saves in the game. There was one save he made, actually. I remember thinking, but yeah, made some good saves in the game. Thought he was kind of calm in the game. Yeah, I think 7. I'll give it 7. I thought he was kind of calm. Let's start right. Connor Bradley. Try not to be too harsh with these kind of guys. Obviously, first start since, what did they say, like April or something like that? Can't even remember. He looked like it. Thought he was rusty. Getting himself in good forward areas. Defensively, nah. I didn't rate the defense at all, to be honest with you. I felt like in 1v1 battles, the defense were just moving a little bit. Yeah, didn't really look too great. Would I say he was above average though? Nah, I don't know. Like, I feel like he was just average. Like, literally, I'll be honest. I'll give him a 5.5. I don't feel like he was that anyway. Kanate. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah. Saved the penalty. Yeah, he did. You talk about Keller here. Yeah, he still conceded. Yeah, 7. I think 7. Yeah, 7 for Kanate. People saying 6 for Ibu. 6.5. 5. He was all over the place. Password hit pro. Bro, I felt like Kanate was having a tough time, bro. I don't know, that captaincy that you got for France and that, you know what I'm saying? Man, I didn't see no leader. I didn't see the Kanate, the leader on the pitch. But then you give me the Bozo moment as well, or moments. Just trying to think, man. Don't want to be too harsh. I feel like I'll give him 5.5. I'll give him a 5.5. For the defense, for goodness sake. I thought the defense was rubbish. Thought it was rubbish. Virgil. This is the one time where I'm like, yeah, Virgil doesn't get that kind of, honorary. Just he like like everyone starts on a 5 and then you work your way up and down. Virgil starts on like a 7 and works his way up and down, kind of thing. Yeah, nah. Even if he did, yeah, that was again. I don't feel like Virgil was all that commanding at the back there. Defensively, again, didn't really feel that's he didn't feel that solid. Again, coming up against the striker, the Southampton striker, yeah, like I said, he gave them an absolute long day. Didn't look comfortable, in my personal opinion, when it was. And listen, it can happen. It can happen. Yeah, I mean, Virgil's not imperious, like imperial. Like, can't just. It's not every day that he can win every battle. Do you know what I mean? Like, he got better as the game kind of went on. I would say that. Like in terms of like being able to spot certain situations. So come out, aggressively if he needed to come out aggressively. Yeah, I'd say more of a 6. I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6. I thought he was better than Konate at least. But I don't think it was all that after that. Oh, Robbo. Yeah. You see games like this for Robbo, yeah? These are the kind of games that people will use against him. These are the games. Konate woke up on the boza. Yeah, I told you. I told you he's got that stupidity in him. Yeah, Robbo. Yeah, I'm more thinking towards these kind of numbers. 3s. He was, oh my lord, man. Like I said, it's games like this for Robbo where people will use against you. These are the kind of games, in my personal opinion, where like I said, it won't matter if he's even a 6 or 7 in the game against Madrid or a game against City, which if he starts any of those games, right? It won't matter. Man will come back to this game. You'll come back to the Chelsea game. You'll come back to the Arsenal game. There's been games where I'm like, bro, you're coming up, and the thing is, the guys you're coming up against are good. Diblin, good. Madueke, good. Saka, obviously excellent. You are coming up against some good players, but broski, this is just looking a bit mad. It's just looking a bit mad. It's just looking a bit mad. Like, oh my lord, that was awful to watch, man. That was like, when you like, I told you, when you there's certain games that you'll watch of someone, you're like, ooh, now it's almost like a light bulb clicks in your head because you're like, I see it now. I see it now. I'll give him a 3. I'll give him a 3, man. That he was the worst player on the pitch. Like, he was so mad. For me, his decision making looks very rash. Yeah, I hear it. I don't disagree. Curtis Jones. Yeah, I thought he was calm. Quiet. I did think he was quiet. I won't. He wasn't very impactful. I'll be honest. Well, I didn't feel like he was very impactful. Did he get an assist? No, he didn't get that assist. Or did he? You could say he pressed well for the first goal. For the Szoboszlai goal. But yeah, outside of that, I feel like it was a very, just casual, calm, average. I'll be honest. Yeah. It was 5.5. I know Storm and Teacup saying 7. I don't think it was a 7, man. Yeah, I feel like it was super duper average. I'll give him 5.5. I don't think it was like that. Gravenberch. First half, I thought he was as poor as the rest of the midfield. But him in isolation, I thought, it wasn't really that good in the first half. Second half, obviously got better. Was able to get on the ball a tad bit more, find pockets of spaces, helping out defensively. Gravenberch was like a 6.5. Could I push it to 6.5? Could I push it? All right, Michael, just because you said it, we'll go 6.5. But that's close to 7, though. I don't know. Like, I don't feel like he was a close to 7 performance. He was better than Jones. I can tell you that much. I'll give a 6.5 then. We'll give a 6.5. Begrudgingly. I am like, If I did like lower than that, I'll be like, yeah, nah. It was more like if it's 6.5, it's 6.5 on a dot. I'm more inclined to say 6.48. Do you know what I mean? Like if I had to do the proper thing, it's like 6.48, but we'll round it up. We'll go 6.5. Salah obviously saved the day again, as per freaking usual. The only attacker that we can really rely on. Let's be honest. These other guys, we can't rely on these guys to save us for shit. But yeah, Salah, I thought he was okay. There was chances he was missing, which was pissing me off. I was like, you're having too many chances, bro. Like, I need you to put one of these in the back of the net. As per usual, what does he go and do? He puts two in the back of the net. Obviously, one being a penalty. The first goal, again, that was more of a mistake from the goalkeeper. But overall performance, I felt like he something turned in the game where he almost felt like I had to take the mantle. I had to kind of do my thing. I've got to take charge of the situation. Do you get what I mean? Like it did feel like there was a point in the game where that kind of happened. But outside of that, I get 8.5. Give 8.5. Zabozalai, Zabozalai obviously got the goal, but outside of the goal, you know what? Yeah, I just felt like he was just average, like he was just calm. Like I didn't feel like he was below average. Like I said earlier on, he kind of tired towards the end of the game. You can see it, like he wasn't pressing, he couldn't get out to like the wings and stuff like that. He was just calm. He was just calm. I would give 7, but I would say because he got a goal, I'll give you 7.5. I'll give you 7.5. Yeah, I mean, which is good for. By the way, this is really good for Zobo because, yeah, from where he's been at, do you know what I mean? Like it's been kind of, kind of mad. But I felt like he was, I mean, he was calm. He was calm. He was calm. Yeah. Would I say he was just that? Yeah. So I would. Gakpo. Yo, if you lot read the group chat sometimes of the way these lot talk about Gakpo, it's hilarious. Gakpo, bare crosses in the first half and that. Yeah, if one connects, then this, that. But other than that, man, I can't lie. I thought he was kind of just a ghost. I'll be so honest with you. Like I didn't. After a while, I stopped even remembering he was on the pitch. Yeah, I mean, you weren't offering anything, you weren't doing anything. 5. I'll do a 5. Nunes, 5. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah. It's not really his game though. Like that's Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz is the guy who wants to take on his man and whatnot. Gakpo doesn't really want to do that. Gakpo is more of he wants to cut inside and rasp one into the net. That's he's on that. He's not really a let me take on your man type of guy, kind of thing. Nunes, Jesus Christ, I'm trying to think. Yeah, man, I don't want to be too harsh on Nunes. Yeah, I mean, I know these men start crying about it. I said I'm fed up. Yeah, well, it's been 3 years, so if you're not fed up by now, it doesn't really matter at this point, isn't it? Yeah. Would I say average? Yes. Yeah. Okay. If I've got Robbo at 3, who's below average by 2, and then I've got Gakpo at 5 as just average, where would I rank Nunes between that? Listen, I felt like he did that good chance for Diaz, which Diaz should be scoring. So that was a good moment. But outside of that, though, like, you know what I'm trying to think? Because I don't want to seem like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm being a bit hard. I thought Nunes done what he could with no service. I hear it, but the whole point of Nunes in the team is because people told me that this is a guy who, creates the service for himself. Like, he creates these opportunities and stuff like that. So, yeah, like, and I've not seen that this season. But that was kind of the theme that people get telling me, oh, Nunes, when he's on, he creates these chances and this, that, and the third. I'm like, yeah, but now we're not playing that kind of football. You're just seeing Nunes just there. Like, he's literally just there, not doing anything. He's affecting play in very, very small moments, but he's a volume guy. I feel like you can't, like, unless you had like Harry Kane or Gyökeres or Haaland, or Lewandowski, where I'm like, okay, these guys don't need many opportunities. Maybe Haaland not as well, but you know what I mean? Like, those kind of strikers, they don't need many opportunities. Give them one or two, they probably bag. Give them one or two half chances, they probably even bag one of those. You know, he's someone, he needs a volume. He needs like 5, 6 to get 1, 2. So when you're not providing him with that, which is not his fault, can't blame him for that. That's a tactical thing. But when he's not getting that, he's not getting anything. He's not clinical enough in order for me to be like, oh yeah, that's fine. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Obviously, he's the only thing we've got, so I can only, talk about it so much. But yeah, when I look at it, I'm like, yeah, man, you're not doing anything. Yeah, like 100%. He's just like a body. To me, it feels like if Jota was fit and available, but you're going to the bench because you're not offering me anything different. You're not doing anything better. It's just people are just happy because it's been 3 years. So, and you know what I mean? We're at this kind of point now. But in terms of the game, I'll give him a 5. I'll just say average. He didn't really do anything. But yeah, man of the match, easy, very, very easy. Mo Salah for me, anyway. Again, but yeah, like I say, man, I felt like the defense poor, midfield in the first half, especially, just very, very non-existent. Didn't really offer me anything. So yeah, it was just one of those. It was just one of those, man. But listen, man, we got the victory in the end. We got the victory. And as I said before, not every game can be, smooth. Not every game can be, pop in and, we're playing this free-flowing football and stuff like that. I haven't listened to what Arne Slot has said in regards to the game, to know whether he liked it, didn't like it. I don't know. But yeah, for me, I felt like, let's say if I had to rate the game performance, 5, I'll probably say like we scored 3 goals. 6. I'll go 6. So yeah, but it was just one of those kind of games. It was just very good that we was able to get through it. But listen, these are the tests that he's going to come up and face regardless. He's going to come up against these kind of teams. As long as he's getting the 3 points, as long as he's doing what he needs to do, I can't complain too much. Yeah, I mean, obviously we're analyzing one game, but if I looked at it in totality, I'm not complaining too much. I'm not angry. I'm not, annoyed or, so to speak, because, he's setting pretty good records. If I'm being totally honest with you, I thought this picture was kind of funny. But as you can see here, no manager in Premier League history has reached 10 wins in fewer matches from the start of their career in the competition than Liverpool's Arne Slot. 12 games, 10 victories. He's level with Gus Hiddink and Carlo Ancelotti. Very good company. Very, very good company to be in, 10 victories. That's what I'm saying. So I can't look at that and think, oh man, this is rubbish and and X, Y, and Z, because the reality is, if we're kind of in this position now, we're top of the league. Let me even get the league table up for you guys to be able to see. Obviously, we've got the game against Madrid coming up. Obviously, a massive game. A lot to kind of play for. Well, no, not really a lot to play for. More than, I think in that kind of game, it's more about the pride, because we're their whipping boys anyway. So it's more about pride when we face them, a team like Madrid, than it is about, we need to get this victory. But whether that's going to be a good thing to kind of go into it with is, another thing. So obviously you guys can see here. Let's go this way. There we go. Top of the league, 8 points clear. Manchester City in second. So mad to think that with how dead that they've been this season, they're still second. It's reminding me a lot of the 1920 season. Chelsea just 1 point behind there as well. Hey, could Chelsea, Arsenal obviously locked in with Chelsea, only 1 point between the top, between second and fifth, because Brighton are up there as well. Didn't see that there. Did not see that, boy. Obviously Tottenham, Nottingham Forest, Villa, Newcastle, and Fulham round off the top 10. It's kind of interesting looking at this league table. I didn't really look at it. So we scored the most goals. Oh no, Tottenham Hotspur have scored the most goals in the league. Brentford have scored 22 goals. That's pretty good. Only 2 of us. They've conceded 22 though, to be fair. Yeah, it's an interesting season, man. It's a very, very interesting season. Wolves finally out of that kind of relegation zone. I didn't feel like they deserved to be there. I really didn't feel like they deserved to be there. I felt like Wolves need to get out of it. Palace, you need to fix up, because if you're not careful, you're going to start slipping. And it's actually quite interesting to see that they're doing so poorly. I feel like they're going to get rid of their manager very, very soon. The league is so bad. United 6 points. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is so deep this year. I said this after the game, and I'll say this to you guys. Obviously, you guys are my people, right? Listen, I'll just to put a disclaimer first before I even say it, right? I'll take a league title anyway, anyhow. Yeah, I mean, I'm not flushed with them. I've only seen one. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I've only seen one. So I'm not in a Man United position. I'm not in a Man City position. Heck, I'm not even in an Arsenal position where I can say, yeah, but man's won a few. Do you know what I mean? So I want to see this. No, I'm not in that position. So I'll take a league title. However, I can kind of get it, right? But it would be nice. It would just be nice. And this is the fantasy world, by the way, people. This isn't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need this to happen. This is just a fantasy world. It'll be nice if we can go toe-to-toe with Manchester City and win. Like, it'll be nice if, like, they didn't have to drop off to this, like, these stupid levels, and then we just listen. I'm happy. I will take, like I said, I'm not flushed with titles. So I can't speak from a position of, bro, you've had bare titles. Maybe you want to see something different. I'm not in that position. But it's just, I always find it ironic that Liverpool seem to do well when Man City seem to fall off. It's always like the one time we won it. Do you know, the only time we've won it is because they dropped off massively. And for me, I don't even feel like we were that much better. I actually just feel like we were just so consistent. We were just like, and we stayed at that level of consistency, whereas they dropped off. They actually dropped off, kind of thing, you know. And I feel like that's why the 18-19 season, when I think about it, I'm like, man, I wish we had won it that season, you know. Because that was like, you know, we're going hammer and tongs, you know what I mean, back and forth. They win, we win 3-0, they go and win 6-0 against someone. We win 6-0, they go and win 1-0. Like, bro, it was mad. It was mad. I probably love that league, that race that we had with Manchester City in the 18-19 season. That was like my favorite race I think I've seen in time. But listen, of course, we didn't win it. It is what it is. And like I said, I'll take the titles wherever I can take a title. I'm not in a position to complain, but it just would be nice. It's almost like, obviously a title is a title, so you rate it whatever. But you know, like in terms of trying to rate a teams that win titles and stuff like that, like if we was to go through every team that's obviously won the Premier League, and then you was to rate the title winning squads, like where would they rank and this, that, and the third. Sometimes I sit there and think like, yeah, but like, you know, it would be sick if Man City were on job, Liverpool on job, and we had to, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like you'd rate it, I don't know, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. It seems weird to say. I know it does seem a little bit weird, kind of thing, because like I said, we're not in a position where we've won 100 titles and we're just, you know, picking and choosing what we want. But it's just that thing in me that says, yeah, I want you to win it. Like, I don't know. Like, I just want you to win it and show everybody, like, nah, like we can do, you know, machine for machine and win a title. Not Man City have to fall off, Liverpool then, you know what I mean, come on and do this, that, and the third, and Arsenal would fall off as well. Like, it's open for someone to come and get anyway, because those two have fallen off regardless. So yeah, that's just like thoughts that go around in my head, you know, kind of thing. But listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But let's head on out of here. I'll read up the last few comments and then we will bounce. Big up everybody who's obviously been locked in this morning. Yeah, I'll do the Real Madrid preview and stuff like that. So obviously that's going to be an interesting game. I'm sure one of the mandem probably will be live later on today. So make sure you guys, of course, keep your notification bells on. I want us to beat Madrid, but I'll take a draw. I want us to beat them still. Yeah, just really to annoy Savage. Plus, it would be nice with fans as well at Anfield, because last time it was locked down. Yeah, exactly. And that's like the overriding thing. Maybe when we win this season, the next, I'm like, yo, if Man City are gonna be on job, then I need you guys to win it and then show everybody we can also win it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe this season we can just win it and then, yeah, I mean, we can go about our business. The wise thing is not to rotate. The hand of Rodri. I saw us win a few titles in the 80s when City was down in the old Division 3. Hey, that must have been a good time. Must have been a good time, man. Vinny Jr. apparently is injured. Listen, when we get to the preview and stuff like that, we'll take a look at their injuries. But if you play anything like you did against Southampton, I don't think those injuries will matter because they do have better players than Southampton. I'll tell you that for free. But guys, look, love everybody, obviously, who's been locked in today. Guys, enjoy the rest of your week as well. Like I said, one of them and them probably will be live later on, so go and show them some love. I will catch you guys for the preview of Real Madrid or Liverpool versus Real Madrid in the Champions League. Liverpool go 8 points clear. Good times, man. It's good to be top. It's good to be top. Peace.